gosh, hey, I'm live. Sorry, I'm a little bit late, guys. I am like 10 minutes late. Hello, welcome to the live. I'm very excited to be here. I have been adoring lives and actually watching a lot of different lives on YouTube, especially Brielle's lives. So like that's why I've been really inspired to want to create lives, because they actually really help me write and just brainstorm and get into the writing mood, if that makes sense. So I really adore lives. I hope you're well and doing well. The lighting is a little bit weird because I have like this blind, but the thing is that sometimes it closes and opens. Maybe that's a bit better. Hopefully that's a bit better. Hello everyone, welcome to this live. Comment down below in the chat what time it is for you, and where you're from. Like say hi from Australia or something like that. Oh, thanks. Yeah. So I'm very excited to do some writing this morning. It's like 8:55 a.m. for me. I was supposed to start this live at 8:30, but then I deferred it because I woke up a bit late. I've been sleeping not very well recently. It's not been fun. So yeah. Oh my gosh, everyone. Hi from Texas, Paris, California, New Zealand. Wow. I don't know if I've had any New Zealand watchers, or at least heard from. Belgium. Oh my gosh, I miss Belgium fries. Oh my gosh. And oh my gosh, I had such good lobster soup in Belgium. I adore Belgium. So hello. Canada, Wisconsin, New Jersey, Morocco, Connecticut, the US, Uganda, Africa, wow, Washington, Oregon. Sorry, I hope I pronounced that right. There are so many states in America that I like don't remember, and I can't pronounce, I swear, like half of them. It's so terrible. Australia only has like, well, I guess how many states does my country have? Queensland, New South Wales, Western Australia, Northern Territory, Victoria. I think that's it. I'm probably missing one. Anyways, I'm very bad with geography, guys. Like, if you know me, I am really, really bad with geography. Like, so terrible. So, yeah. Wow, a lot of people from so many different places. Belgian fries are so good, like that and fish food. I know, your fish and your lobsters, so good. I'm obsessed. I went to, my gosh, my brain, again, I'm not very good with, what's your guys' capital? The capital of Belgium is, I'm so embarrassing. I literally know what it is. Guys, what's the Brussels? Thank you. Brussels. I adore Brussels. Guys, I'm so terrible. This is why, like, I'm supposed to create fictional places, not study normal places. Ooh, we already have some really good questions. My favorite Boy Genius song. Oh my gosh, I love Boy Genius. My favorite song from them, I really, really, really like Souvenir. It just has that, they play a sort of, what's that? Oh, my mind is not working today. It's a sort of violin type guitar with only a couple strings. Yeah. Cool. If you have any questions, I'm going to do a little Q&A session just for like 10 minutes or so. So if you have any questions or anything, and then we want to get writing, I'm very excited to do some writing today, because I'm brainstorming. Dude, I feel so terrible, but I've kind of like put Ghost Side just on a little standstill and kind of like a little shelf, because I really, really have been inspired to brainstorm my new novel, which I haven't talked to you guys about, like, period, which I kind of feel terrible for. Oh my gosh, everyone's like, Ghost. Look, I really, really wish I could work on Ghost Side. But you know when the inspiration strikes for another project, you just gotta do it. So like this fantasy project, which is my secret project, I kind of refer to in a lot of my videos. I want to freaking write it, and I've had so much fun just brainstorming and getting into it and just really, really adoring the plotting process and the brainstorming process and the characters. I love the characters. I love the journey of the story. I love the themes, everything about it. I've never felt this sort of clarity in a way and excitement about this book. So that's what I'm going to be working on today. Not so much writing, but also brainstorming, if that makes sense. So yeah. Yeah, so if you have any questions, oh my gosh, there's almost 100 of you in today's live. Oh my gosh, Ashley's here. Hi, Ash, I love you. Ashley's one of my writer besties. Okay, let's get on to some questions. Question time. So if you have any questions, advice, little things you'd want me to answer. I mean, even if it's just like silly questions, like that Boy Genius question, so specific, I love it. Happy 115k subs. Thank you. Crazy that we've like grown so far. I feel like I just hit like 100k. So thank you. Okay. Let's see. Okay, here's a question. It goes, I'm a teen writer. Any tips specifically for younger writers trying to stay motivated while they're at school? It's so difficult being a young writer and having school every single day. Like I realize it's even worse than like going to uni, because uni you have like some days off, it's more individualized learning, but with school you have to do a lot of courses, a lot of classes you don't really care about, and it just takes up so much of your time, as well as co-curricular activities. So it is definitely really, really difficult to find motivation and also just the energy to write. I would recommend. Oh, what would I recommend? I would say just try to write at school. That is not a good piece of advice, but I really, really love writing at school because there is something about like writing when you're not supposed to. I don't know. The motivation kind of comes from just you daydreaming about your story. So when I was in school, I would daydream all the time about my fantasy worlds and about writing them, and just like hankering to write when I got home from school. But every time I got home, I would be too tired or out of training or something like that. So I couldn't actually write. So then I tried really, really hard in just writing when I wasn't supposed to. And that sort of weird feeling of like not, when you shouldn't be writing. This is how I feel even in my uni classes, or kind of even before my classes, where I'm like, I should be doing this lecture, but I'm going to do this. So I don't know if that helps at all. But just also knowing that you have lots of time to write in the holidays, and that, all your favorite authors and like writers, they're like 30, 20 years old. I'm 20. So there is no rush to like get everything done. Just have fun drafting, have fun writing, and just try your best. Plotting is so hard. Got any tips on how to make a chapter plotting simpler? Making chapter plotting simpler. This is another question we have. That's a very good question, actually, because I'm doing a video I'm actually editing, which is a huge plotting video where I give you guys advice, tips, and just going through the process of plotting. In terms of chapters, what I like to do is pick out 3 main things the chapter explores, and these are usually 3 main actions. So chapter kind of has its own little arc. So if you think about little chapters as kind of like little books, little tiny, tiny books where something happens, there's an action, something of a consequence, and then leading into the next chapter. It can even just be like something happens and then there's a break. So it can either go like this or that, if that makes sense. So to think about it and try to get just 3 main things that can happen in that chapter. There might just be like an overall huge characters discover the secret relic. Well, if it's that particular chapter, perhaps they find the place, or maybe they find a map, and then that leads them to a person who, I don't know, guides them, and then they find a trap, and that leads to the next. You know what I mean? Like those three main pieces of action. Hopefully can help. Ooh, this is a good question too. Thank you for the loves. I love to see the love hearts popping up. That's so cute. Question about staying inspired with projects and motivation as well. How I stay inspired is actually going on YouTube lives. To be honest, like Brielle, I'm gonna keep fangirling about her. Like I've been obsessed with her channel, and we're actually doing a video soon, so stay tuned for that, like a collab. She is so cool. She's like my favorite new author tuber, and her lives are just so cool. She does lots of videos with other writers, so just hearing about their projects, what they're working on, and them answering questions, and just being in the world of writing, even if it's not explicitly about your project or about advice, it's still like talking to writers. So I encourage you guys to, try to watch more writing lives and go on AuthorTube more so. If not, just try to make a playlist for your book. That usually helps. That's a more practical tip. Do I like anime? That's an interesting question because I definitely did. I was obsessed. You can probably see a couple like posters I have, or mainly, that one. That's Inosuke from Demon Slayer. Something about me is I'm really bad at finishing shows, but I adore them either way. So I don't watch anime too much anymore just because you have to pay a lot. There's a big paywall like between watching anime. And I've just been kind of busy with watching other shows like Arcane. I don't know if you guys saw my Instagram, but I finished the second act. I thought for some reason that was the final act, but obviously not. But Arcane, guys, has anyone else watched Arcane? Because it's crazy. I did not expect all that to happen. So much is happening. I don't know the lore of League of Legends or anything, so everything's really new for me. I'm one of those watchers, but it's really cool. I love Victor so much. I adore his character and who he's become. I think it's so cool and somehow so Victor. And he has such an interesting character that I feel like comes up in a lot of my writing. He's definitely a bit different, but that sort of archetype of character I for sure adore the most. And I see that in a lot of different projects and a lot of different books that I read and stories that I consume, that the Victor character, the soft, sick boy, if you will, that's my favorite. I love him. So I do like anime, but I don't watch it too much anymore. Another question. My favorite writing AuthorTube channels. I adore, of course, Brielle Writes. She is the best. I adore her. Her lives are just saving me with writing and staying motivated. I hope you don't hear too much of the background noise. My puppy's barking outside. Other author tubers I like. I really like Rachel. Rachel's really cool. Also Sarah or Sarah Labrat. She's really cool as well. I love her vlogs. And yeah, those are the two main ones I've been watching. So if that makes sense. Okay. Any other questions? Ooh, okay. I have trouble starting the actual writing process because I feel like my writing is just not good enough or is really crappy. Do you have any tips on loving your writing? Oh, that's such a sweet little question and so sad that you don't feel like you love your writing. It might sound silly, but rereading your work and like other projects, even your poetry, even your short stories, anything that you've written, like it helps me realize that Anna wrote that and like she wrote that by herself and it's actually really good. It doesn't have to be amazing, but it's just like, wow, like you wrote that sort of thing. So a love of writing also comes from an appreciation of yourself and kind of how much you've grown as well. I think of my characters and the core of my story and why it's like why it has a purpose, basically. And that helps me appreciate how smart I can be, at least like creatively smart, or kind of just see how my stories have a place and that it means something, especially to me. And I get really attached to my characters and my plots, and especially when there's something like a plot twist or something, I'm like, did I do that? Yeah, I did that. So like that's my favorite thing in the world. But in terms with, yeah, kind of starting the writing process, it definitely is difficult when you have all this self-doubt and sort of complicated feeling about writing. It's really, really hard sometimes. And I appreciate just kind of taking a break and trying to feel like let a particular story coax you out of that self-doubt, because ultimately I think the passion for your story and your passion about anything really is gonna trump any self-doubt or any sort of yeah, sort of hard feelings about yourself and your writing. um I usually kind of feel really terrible about my writing if I'm not doing well mentally with my other things, or if I feel really insecure or just really annoyed about people. I get so annoyed at people. So take a break if you need to, and try to realize your passion is powerful. Yeah. Um. mm, 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 mm. Da, 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 da. Whoa, lots of new questions. Goodness. Someone asked, Anna, how do you write multiple books at the same time? Well, I don't write them too simultaneously. Like I visit like maybe weekly, like a different book. And I realize I kind of mislead people perhaps in my videos where I say like, oh, I'm now working on this book. Sometimes it's just that video that I'm working on the new book. Like for example, I kind of go through the plotting process of um, Project Fall, which is like a cyberpunk story, in one of my recent videos that I will post soon. And it's not like I've been working on that alongside this fantasy project and Ghost Side. It's more so that just that day I wanted to plot that book. And usually I share more so outwardly projects that I work on, which I don't mind sharing with, for example, my secret project. It's crazy, kind of the paradox, because I am sharing it, but I'm very secretive with it, so I don't really use it in videos. So that's why I kind of use particular projects for particular videos, because it serves it well. So I don't want to give the illusion that I work on my books like 5 different books, but I do work on at least 2 stories at a time, and that's Ghost Side and Project Secret. I don't even want to say the. You probably know the project name. But I like to make sure that both of them are in different stages. Ghost Side is editing. This secret project is brainstorming, plotting. So it uses different parts of my brain so I don't get burnt out, if that makes sense. And I usually try to write them differently in different times of the day. Usually it doesn't work. Sometimes it does. But yeah. Usually I actually go to a cafe for Ghost Side to write, and then I write my fantasy project at home during the nighttime because it usually rains. It's been raining a lot in Australia at night. So that's what I've been doing. Also, I got this new little headband. I feel like, I don't know if it suits me. It's really cute though. But I feel like I like my hair to kind of cascade, and I can't do that if I have a. It's really difficult because it's switched. So I'm gonna put this away. Yes. So, we're already at 19 minutes. I'm sorry if I didn't answer any of your questions. I will get back to them. Just repeat them in the next Q&A. But we're gonna do a writing live because it's already been 20 minutes, y'all. I feel like I've been talking Someone asked just quickly, am I a Swiftie? Not really. Taylor Swift's music is good, but I don't know. I feel like there's really short questions. I'll quickly answer some questions. Someone asked like book recommendations. I adore The Hunger Games. If you haven't read The Hunger Games, definitely do. Or my favorite book called Pure an Essay by Susanna Clarke. I adore it. Arcane season 2 is gonna be epic. I know. I'm just so scared about because I feel like it's very rushed, the whole act. So I hope it doesn't get too rushed at the end. But my favorite characters, just quickly, also are Victor, obviously, and I really like Jinx. Jinx is I thought she would annoy me, but she is so cool. I love her. Yeah. Awesome. Any other little questions? I think that's kind of it. Okay, let's go ahead and do some writing. I'm going to go for maybe 25 minutes. What do you guys think? 25 minutes might sound good. I'm going to share my screen as well so you guys can see. Let me know if you can see what's on the screen now. Not sure if you can. I'm going to move you guys over here a bit. This is my little mic. Hello. So don't mind that it's a bit in the shot. We can see it. Awesome. That's really great to hear. Alrighty, guys. Are we ready to get writing? I feel like the creative energy is coming. What do you guys feel? Do you feel inspired to write? I'm very, very excited to get writing on Project C. I almost said the name. My secret project. My secret project. I'm very, very excited. So let's go ahead and do some writing for 25 minutes. And let's get it. Let's go. Okay, hi everyone. So I think that's the thingy, the session. Hello. Goodness gracious me. I hope you can hear me okay. But how did your session go? I'm sorry the timer didn't go off. I realize it's because I muted myself. So yeah, but let me know how much you're able to get done. Technically, I don't know how much I got. I got at least 300 words. Not a lot. But I'm just brainstorming characters right now, so lots of character stuff. And I'm very, yeah, my mind's just blown, really. Like, this book is so huge, so cool, and I'm very, very excited to write it. Anyways, got 500. That's great. 258. Ooh. 233. That's really, really good. 785. That sounds really good. 2 chapters. 450 words. Wow. That's really, really cool. That's a lot of words, actually. I feel like I'm not very good with writing lots of words during writing sprints. Unless if I know exactly what I'm writing, which obviously would make sense. 268. I got no words in, tried to plot a little bit. That's really great. Yeah, good job, everyone. Fabulous. Writing to me is sometimes difficult. I think words, I have a weird relationship with words. I don't really think about, I don't know how many words I was able to get. More so what progress I was able to achieve throughout my brainstorming or whatever project I'm working with. I'm so excited for this book. Like, the characters, so excited. In the last few days, I've definitely made some huge progressions because something that I've learned through plotting that I do share in one of my recent videos is how your characters give you such good plot ideas. Like, it gives you such good plot ideas, such good ways you can use and progress the plot in a way that expresses the themes and meanings in your stories. Because your character's motivations will change the story and also give reasons to why things are the way that they are. And truly, plotting this secret project, this huge fantasy world that I've been a little bit scared about and kind of overwhelmed with, it's really been just so comforted and cushioned by these characters and these band of beautiful people. I mean, some of them are actually really, really terrible, but they all have different flaws. They have all different beliefs, different backstories that really reinforce the story and also make things how they are. And it's crazy to see how they cross paths, how it can foreshadow things. So characters truly are crazy. So yeah. Anyways, let me know if you want any questions. I'll do another Q&A session, and we might do a little bit more writing. Let me know if you would like some more writing. Maybe we'll do another 25 or 20 minutes. So, yep. Let me know if you have any questions. Someone says, I love your nails. Thank you. They're kind of growing out a little bit, but I adore them. They're honestly really, really difficult to type with. I'm using my keyboard right now. It's kind of easier to type on my laptop because they're a lot more close to the keyboard. I don't have to press all the way down, when here I need to use my little tiny, which is funny. But I love these nails, just tapping, because I kind of talked about in my last live how I really want to do like a ASMR. I don't know. I love doing this, especially like just when I'm like shopping or doing something random. I love to tap because that's like, I love ASMR. It's really weird. Like people think ASMR is so weird, but I like adore it. And that's also why I love doing my nails. So I can like do my own stuff. And actually my sister got me a lot of new candles, which is really great because I've been wanting, whoa, what is this? Vanilla frosting. Usually I don't really like vanilla type. Oh, it gives me a bit of a headache. Maybe this was the one she was talking about. She was like, one of them gives me a headache, so you can have it. So, but like, I really love, I'm not very good at ASMR, but I love tapping. There's this candle, and then I got a pink one, which I was using last night. Boom, boom. I love the sound. What does it smell like? Kind of smells like my childhood. I don't know. I don't know what flavor it is. Does not say. Maybe it was on the top and the top's gone. And then lastly, we have one other one, which is from Dusk. But I did say in my last live, I was like, what if I do an ASMR? Because I love ASMR, but like writing style, that'd be weird. Where I like tap on my keyboard, on like these candles, while like whispering about my book. So weird. But ASMRists are like so talented. Like, I'm sorry I need to say it, but like it's so true. Like to find a good sound is crazy. What smell is this? This is grape melon. I was like doing this. I was like about to do this to like make you guys smell the candle. It smells like, I don't know how you like. It would be crazy to make candles. I'm also the person who will go to a store like TK Maxx and like just smell all the candles. Because I really, really want a crackling candle. And I told like my sister, like, that's what I want. That's why she gave me all these candles. She's like, oh, you need candles? I'm like, yeah, but I really want a crackling one. I got one like for really cheap. It was like a Christmas one. It didn't smell very good, but at least it crackled where the wick was like very particular, like style or whatever. And it'll crackle. And that's like the best sound because it sounds like a crackling fireplace. And I'm the sort of writer who adores ambient sort of sounds where it's either like one or two things, either thunder or crackling, like fireplace. So if you ever need like some motivation or just like some like background noise, some people like going to cafes or like libraries because of that background noise, but I don't really like that too much. I'm also of a rumbly brown sound type, rain or crackling. So that's me. Yeah. Anyways, a big spiel about candles. Let's move on. Okay. Any questions? Let me see. Ooh, this is a very specific question. Tips on how to write characters starting to become friends. I've always started characters already being friends, but never, sure how they develop their relationship. Okay. I feel like once two characters meet, they need some sort of first impression of each other. And I feel like it's great for them to know each other where they kind of destruct and they destruct their perception of the character. For example, if one's like a prince versus like a knight or something, the knight might have like a really interesting perception of the prince, or like, oh, he's stuck up or he's this, when as he gets to know them, it's actually a reverse. So that's like the way friendships can really bond. I feel like some of my best friendships, I feel like they were people I would never approach because they just seem so different to how they are. So maybe that's an interesting thing of like breaking down these stereotypes the characters might have or biases. That could be interesting. And just make sure you really have quality time with the characters, which reveal very specific things about them. Backstory stuff, why they believe things. Maybe they have like siblings, maybe they have different goals depending on, their backstory. So maybe they have a panic attack or something triggers them, and the character who barely knows them doesn't know that maybe their mother died like at sea, so they're really scared of water. And that's how they get to know each other. You know what I mean? If they already established that relationship, they'll probably have some context, but that sort of shock can really quickly get characters in a relationship and in a way that they support each other, understand each other, and make up their mind about each other. So yeah. Let's see any other questions. Ooh, okay. We have another question. Any advice on when you're stuck in the middle of a whip because you plotted really poorly and now you're confused and unmotivated? Yeah, I get that all the time. My tip, very practical, I guess, is to plot dot points on what will happen till the end of the book, and also to re-establish, because I feel like you just kind of plotted really messily perhaps, and you don't know what's going to happen. So in my experience, if I don't know what's happening in a book, I get really, really unmotivated and really overwhelmed that I just shelve it and never ever let it come back. So that's why I've actually been taking lots of time, especially with the Secret Fantasy project, to really plot and spend lots and lots of time in the world building and plotting in a way that kind of helps me create a zero draft. You guys know what zero draft is? Check out some of my plotting videos. But yeah, do dot points and revisit your brainstorming documents, your plotting documents. Think about what is the climax of your story and whether or not you've already met it. And I share in my video that I'm going to upload soon about how sometimes when you meet the climax of your story or what you think is like the big thing of your book really quickly, maybe you need a second book. Like maybe I find that sometimes I get messy during the last act of the book because I don't know what the heck will happen and what's interesting, because I feel like everything interesting has already happened. So I'm like, wait a second, I have all of these ideas that can't fit in the last act of the book. Let's create a new book. So maybe that's relevant. I'm not sure if it is, but doing dot points, that's my most practical tip. Let me see. Oh, interesting question. About have I ever written a book from a male character POV? And if it's difficult as a girl or a woman. I've written technically three books actually, which is like basically half of all of my books, with a male main character. And at least in like Project Orchestra, for example, which is my historical fiction story, that is from the POV of two males, Lewis and Alexander. I love them so much. I don't think there is any difference really in writing male characters. I think maybe their perspective on things kind of changes, their needs, their characters change, but that's the same with any other character. If I wrote two different female characters, they're going to be so different in their voice, their characteristics, the way that they perceive things, that it's just the same thing as I imagined how a male or a boy would. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think there's much difference. Perhaps, I don't even know. I don't know. I don't think there is, because truly it's just knowing the character. Like, their gender doesn't really mean anything to me. Of course, it's purposeful in the reason why. Like, it just fits the archetype of the like character within the story. Where, for example, in the 1800s, the truth is that if I were to write a female character, she would be like a maid or like a princess or something like that. not a princess, but like, you know what I mean? Where since he was very, like Alexander was a, like an academic, for example, they'll be a male. So I don't think it's very different. Maybe from a male, a guy writer. It really depends also on the age of the character. If they're a boy, I think it'll be really, really difficult. I did write a 17-year-old boy called, what was his name? Oh my gosh. What was his name? It was Jody, and Jody's the girl. It wasn't Kai. Oh my gosh, I can't remember my own character's name. Anyways, it was a long story ages ago, but he was a lot younger. So I think the younger they get, I think it's a bit difficult because you're in a teenage boy's brain, which is a little bit more complex, perhaps, and distinct from like a male who's like an adult. Anyways, that's my long-winded answer. I see the name Chandler and I am enticed. I am having a bit of trouble sticking to a personality for my main character, Chandler. Do you have any tips on really developing your character's personality? Yes, knowing the character's flaws. And I really adore characters which have a paradox within their particular strength and flaw, where their greatest strength is their greatest weakness. For example, someone who's very unbothered or very I was using the word inert and I was like wondering what that meant if you described yourself as inert. And I was talking to my mom. Mom's like, yeah, maybe like they don't really care. They're kind of focusing on themselves and stuff like that. Like self-sufficient sort of thing. That's a good thing. You know what I mean? My hair, sorry. It's a good thing to be self-sufficient, but then when it comes to needing to rely on other people, that's a weakness where they have trust issues, basically. So they're self-sufficient, independent, which is good. It's a strength, right? But that can be a weakness in certain contexts and, of course, within your story. So knowing their weakness is really important, and also their motivations will reinforce their personality. If they have really big goals or have a sort of backstory where they're hostile towards a particular group or a particular person, that's going to reinforce the way that they act and their personality. Also know how they react to things, their use of dialogue, and also their quirks. Quirks are so fun to think about. And oh, I wish I could share. Like, this book is so good, but I can't. I will not share any of the characters, but I love him so much. One of the main characters, he is just like the sweetest, but he's also so like a sunshine character, and he has so many different quirks. Maybe I can share one thing. Like, his mum died, and he has like this particular flower that he always picks that reminds him of her. And yeah, it's sort of like a little thing that kind of, you get to see different sides of the character and how that reinforces their personality through what has happened to them as a little baby child, which is really sad. But anyways, yep, that's the question I have. Yeah, I don't know what character that was. Someone says like Kaido. Kaido was one of my characters from another project, but this was another project. Oh my gosh. No, I need to know. It's somewhere on my Google Docs. The book was called Prison. Oh, sorry, I just wrote. Was it Kyo? Maybe it was Kyo. Was it really Kyo? Yes, it was Kyo. Kaido and Kyo seem so similar. I don't know why I choose Kyo. Kyo doesn't seem like it suits him. I thought he would have a name like Marcus or something. I don't know. Sorry. That's so embarrassing. Guys, I literally forgot my own character's name. Oh. Sorry. Okay. How did you guys know? Kyo, Lucy, you got that right. I love you. That's amazing. Ooh, whoa, cool question. Have I ever written a poetry in the head of one of my characters? You just gave me an idea. I think I want to write like the guy I was talking about in my book, the really sweet sunshine character. What if he writes poetry for the love interest? That's really cute. I would like to see that. But no, not really. I write from my own depressed soul. Yeah. What's the word of the day? What is the word of the day? Sardonic. What does that mean? Sardonic. Sardonic meaning. Sardonic means grimly mocking or cynical. Okay. Kind of sounds like sadistic. Is that a word? Sadistic. What is the word of the day? Is that like just a thing? Or is it particular sites? I don't know. It just came up with like toilet paper word of the day. Word of the day is gilid. That's on dictionary.com. Gilid means very cold or icy. Gelid, sorry. Gelid. Okay. That's really weird. It sounds like jelly. Anyways. Cool. I should probably think about that because words are really important and my vocab is very underwhelming. So okay. Last couple questions. Let's see. The word of the day is taco. Taco. I'm wondering how you made the book cover for Ghost Side. How did I make the book cover? I used this site called Fortor, which I use for a lot of my thumbnails. You do have to pay though. It's basically like Canva, but I use that. You can also use different sites. There's different free sites as well, but a lot of them are paid. But yeah. I don't think I shared it. Perhaps, yeah, I don't think I shared it, sorry. But just try your best or even draw it. It doesn't have to be a crazy cover, but if you're looking for like professional covers, if you have the money or the funds or the resources, try to get someone else to do it. Unless you're really good at drawing or really good at designing, which I mean, I adore the designing process, but I would definitely get a professional to do it because it's also helping artists. Yeah, and helping them, get money, if that makes sense. Ooh, Samantha, you have such a good question. Who is your favorite character you've ever written? I hope you don't hear that also. There is someone whippersnippering somewhere. Anyways, my favorite character. Oh, dude, actually, one of the main character of this book has like really captured my heart. I feel like a lot of my main characters who are female in like 3 of my books have the same particular archetype, especially with their relationship with the male lead, where it's kind of like it's kind of giving Katniss. Katniss, I adore. Like those sorts of characters that I've written, which is this character in Project Secret, she is so... It's the sort of thing that I adore, like this sort of relationship between these 2 characters where the female character doesn't realize that she loves him. And everyone can see that she loves him, but she's so selfless that she would never pursue that. And it's also because everything's so messy and it's war times and like there's no time for it. And I just care for you so much, firstly, as a human being, that romantic things doesn't even need to be like... Of course, like they want it, like how Katniss eventually did, but there is something so sweet about this. It's kind of like the prelude to like a romantic relationship where it's romantically platonic, but almost wholly platonic, and I adore those relationships. on both parts of the characters. The fact that they just love each other but can't do anything about it. It's so sad, but also so sacred. Yeah, that I really, really love. If not, I really adore Lewis from Alexander, sorry. I really love Alexander from my historical fiction stories. He's so cool. I love him. And he is exactly like the Victor sort of character I was talking about with Arcane, where they're just so sweet, so wholeheartedly devoted. Just like Jem Carstairs from I just am such a sucker for like Peter Millark, like those sorts of soft boy characters, like Kristoff, like they're really funny and cute and like I don't know. Yeah. They're cool, but they're also really, really sweet. Okay. So they're like my favorite characters that I've written. I think I do have a podcast too, if you want a more extended version, where I just fangirl about my characters all the time. So yeah. Ooh, cool question, Lucy. What is my favorite non-writing hobby? Oh, because like if you'd said like writing, like what's your favorite hobby apart from writing books? I would say poetry. Poetry is so fun. Maybe reading, or I guess just like watching media. I love watching movies. Movie watching is like my favorite thing. And I was thinking about like if I ever get like a partner or a long-time partner, like they need to freaking love movies and be so obsessed with watching shows and movies. And like my favorite thing is just talking about a film or a piece of literature or some sort of like story with them that's so passionate. And I feel like I need a group like that. I need a person like that. You know what I mean? So if I ever want a husband, he needs to like adore freaking adore movies. And it's kind of like I want him to love the movies I love, but obviously it's hard. But I just need someone with an opinion and a sort of love for stories. So yeah, I'd say movie watching. And someone does ask, what is my favorite movie though? I actually am doing a favorites post soon, which is kind of like my top 5 favorites on Instagram, which will be up soon because it takes forever to edit those sorts of Instagram posts. I can't choose. My favorite technically is a Dead Poet Society because, wow. I also really like Les Mis, Les Miserables, Les Miserables, Les Misera. I can't even pronounce it. It's like in French, obviously. And then I also really like Aliens, actually. It's such a good movie. Aliens, so freaking good. Which is like the sci-fi. It's like a horror, but it's like back in the day. It's like with Sigourney Weaver, right? And she slays so well. There's a few that I really, really like. So yeah. Wait, this is so funny. Someone says, I'm not sad enough to write good poetry, so I tend to make some from my characters' perspectives. Laith. Laith? That's such a pretty name. That's really interesting. You're not sad enough to make good poetry. I love that, how you need to be depressed. And who is more depressed than our own characters? Let's just say that. That's really, really lovely. That's so sweet. So yeah, that's funny. Maybe I should try writing for my characters, but it's just difficult because a lot of my characters, they're not the sort of people to write poetry. You know what I mean? Like Red from Ghostside, she would not write poetry. Like she writes very poetic things, but not like, because when I think of poetry, I think of either really sad and depressing stuff, which I guess Red would definitely write. Or I think about like love stuff, which Red definitely would not write. So she's more of a journaler. That makes sense. My favorite movie is Dead Poet Society. I love that. Les Mis is my favorite book. I really want to read the book for sure. So yeah. Okay, I think it's time to do some more writing. We'll go for 20 minutes, I think would be really great. 20 minutes. Perfect. I'm gonna share the screen. I hope you guys are ready for another write with me. Let me know if you can see the timer on the screen. I hope that's all good. And we're gonna do some writing. I don't know, I feel like I need to continue brainstorming my characters. Because, yeah. But is everyone ready? Everyone good to go for 20 minutes? But the love heart, I love the love heart. I love it bubbling up. It's so cute. Yeah, so let me know. Because I can't stay for too long. I'd love to like write for a whole day with you guys, but I have like uni stuff to do. Lots of classes I need to prepare for this week, but I really like having Monday off. That's why I'm able to kind of do Sunday for you guys. Because yeah, I hope it's not too late over there. I hope my computer doesn't run out of battery. It's not 20%. That's fine, right? Right. Okay, everyone ready? Cool. I'm going to go ahead and mute myself and start the timer. So let's go. Happy writing, everyone. Good luck. Hello. I did not realize the timer went off. Sorry about that. That's 20 minutes done. How'd you guys go? Hope you did well. Still brainstorming characters for me, and it's getting a little bit exhausting, to be honest, because I'm getting to like the more side characters. So, I mean, they're important, of course. It's difficult to like make sure that these side characters don't seem samey and don't seem like replicas of like the main characters, if that makes sense, because there's lots of like kings and stuff that I need to go through, and queens and princesses, and it's a whole ordeal. So yeah, so I didn't do too many words, to be honest. I brainstormed 2 characters, so that's how I'll translate my words. But how'd you guys go? $201, $353. Ooh, Alea did $469. That's pretty good, to be honest. I just played Minecraft. That's great. It's good that you were here. How about you guys share a line or a word or something about your process, something about your writing that you just wrote? I wrote nothing because I'm brainstorming characters. I guess I can share this particular princess. She's kind of like the love whisperer, if you must call her. She seems to set up a lot of couples but herself, because she's kind of supposed to be betrothed to this particular prince, but he has not proposed, and there's been like a war basically that has kind of disallowed any sort of connection. So she hasn't met this prince since she was little, and kind of feels like she should be in love with him, but she just simply can't. So she's kind of in like this locked situation where, yeah, she longs for love but can't have it because of the war, and because he, I guess, is not really interested, basically. Ooh, this is a line from someone's book. It says, "If you think I'm above letting people die, if it keeps you safe, you don't know me very well." Whoa, you have some betrayal type priorities getting shifted there. I mean, of course, I hope that, yeah, you don't kill people for the sake of somebody. 209 words, 170 words. We have another quote. "If that kind of love isn't real, then there is no sense of believing in love." Oh, wow. That's really depressing. I love how both of them are like pretty sad. But kind of liberating as well. Like, I don't know. I feel like there is such a freedom in realizing love doesn't exist. Not to be depressing, but yeah. Oh, another quote. Let's read this one. "Rules are for those who care about the consequences." Ooh, that's really good. I like that. I really do like that. I think that's really true. I love how my hair always does this. I don't think I have any quotes. Technically, I guess I do. But I don't know if I want to share them because they are very private. Do you say private or private? I'm kind of weird. I wonder if there are any like small, because these are pretty big quotes though. No, I don't want to share anything. I don't think. Maybe this one's really like simple. It's just more of the idea that I wanted, where it's like no place is safe for us, which I think is really, really scary. What? Very quote from my book is, "Nothing can make my eyes wet quite like the tragedies of literature can." Wow, that's nice. I like that. The tragedies of literature. Yeah, that's really, really cool. Ooh, there's another one. Another one of mine is, I told you once that you weren't worthy of being my undoing, but I never said I wasn't worthy of being yours. Ooh, that kind of ate. What did that eat? Like mother, like daughter, stealing from arrogant kings. Ooh, that's cute too. I love that as well. Wow. Here's another quote. Just because you find friendship so malleable doesn't mean you backstab the ones that you once acquired. I feel like there's lots of lore behind that very salty dialogue piece. Oh, not me sitting in my room while blushing while Anna's reading my lines. Of course, bestie. Even was staring out the window, wishing he could be home safe and happy, but even realized that his home was no longer safe. Someone placed that note under Chris's bed. That someone killed Luna. Ooh. Lots of death, guys. What's up with that? I'm kidding. That was a good quote. Yeah. I don't know. Do I have any quotes I can really share? I don't think so. Wait, there are some quotes actually. Maybe. Oh, I feel like. Ooh, kind of the idea that Oh wait, no, it's back up here. Oh my gosh. This is like a dialogue piece. It says, okay, she says, I don't know you. This is like me brainstorming for a scene, like one of the biggest scenes in this fantasy project. The girl says, I don't know you. And the guy says, don't you say that. So then she says, I loved you. He spits the words back at her. Loved. What changed? Him? Oh! Crazy. Oh! Oh! But it's not the love. Oh, so much lore. I love reading quotes again because it's just like there's so much lore attached to it that like you get the hype, but it's like crazy. Yeah, that was just like a brainstormed dialogue scene from my secret fantasy project. So, yeah. Anyways, I might need to end the live soon. So any last questions, any last things you'd want me to talk about, let me know. If not, we've been going for nearly 2 hours, which is great. I love the smell of candles. Oh, whoa, that's a crazy quote. It's good. It's a good thing you're pretty. Why is that? Because your head is going to look stunning in a trophy case. Crazy. Pancakes. Soft ones with buttermilk to be exact. It was exactly what the twins loved. Jack had never babysat the twins before, but it was quite the hassle. Cute. Your life is short to begin with, but your youth is even shorter. After you run out of youth, you're not even really living. Whoa. That's crazy. Wow. What's my favorite book right now that I'm reading or writing? I like this secret project. Book that I'm reading right now. I'm reading the book of what's it called? Daughter of Smoke and Bone series. I think it's the second book, which is Days of Blood and Starlight, which is crazy. The book goes through like resurrecting monsters, which is the coolest idea I've ever heard. Like resurrecting monsters through teeth. Like the chick is like a resurrectionist and she like has teeth of like animals. Like she strings it together in like a necklace and resurrects through inputting a soul within that body and Resurrecting Monsters. Crazy. I love that. But yeah, I love fantasy. Like truly reading that series, the comforting childhood series that I read when I was like a teenager. It's so sad I can't call myself a teenager anymore. I'm like 20. So sad. Anyways, that's the end of this little tiny quick, not really quick, I guess it was 2 hours, live. I had so much fun chilling with you guys and doing some brainstorming. It's really good to get it done in the start of the day because it's like now only 10 p.m., 10 a.m., sorry. 11 a.m. nearly. I have lots of uni work to get done, so I do need to go. But I love you all so, so much. Thank you for coming, and hopefully I'll have a one next week if I'm not too tired. But I love you, and I hope to see you in my next writing live. Okay, bye everyone.